Here's Frank Turek being so anti-gay that he not only makes a case against same-sex relationships, he also inadvertently argues against all romantic relationships.
How are we supposed to interact with family members who have chosen the gay lifestyle?
Very, very hard question. Let me say something that my first pastor always said, which I think is brilliant. He said to his kids, "There's nothing you can do that will make me stop loving you." I would never break off relations with any child. I would love them, but love, as I mentioned a minute ago, requires that you stand for truth, even if they don't like it.
But instead, of course, Frank will stand for dogma, even if it isn't true.
So I think it's very important that you say, look, I am basing my viewpoint on something beyond me.
And something beyond reality. This is a common apologist tactic. Whenever you call them out on some horrible ethical position, they think they're somehow off the hook if they say, "It's not my rules, it's God's rules," as if they have no choice but to follow such tyrannical rules.
I'm not going to disagree with Jesus on this. I love you and I want what's best for you. And you don't need to take it from me, but you can take it from just about any person that has gone from being involved in a homosexual relationship to somebody now who has come out of that. And they will tell you that they could never get the kind of satisfaction they could in that same-sex relationship that they could outside of the same-sex relationship.
I think what Frank means here is that he knows folks who were in a same-sex relationship who then got into an opposite-sex relationship. This is an anecdote, of course. What Frank should do if he wants to more convincingly illustrate this point is cite a statistic about the relative levels of satisfaction that bisexuals get with respect to dating members of their own sex relative to dating someone else. I don't know if such statistics exist, but if they did, I'm strongly skeptical that they would say that every single person who has dated people of more than one sex has been more satisfied with someone of the opposite sex than with someone of the same sex.
Now, some people never can break that. There's a minister by the name of Sam Albury who's same-sex attracted, but he's celibate. And he says, "My Lord was celibate."
Well, the Bible doesn't actually say that. It doesn't say that Jesus ever got married, but it doesn't say that he didn't either. Also, if Jesus was celibate, when Christians ask themselves, what would Jesus do, why would any of them conclude that they ought to get married?
And I'm not going to be less of a person because I don't have sex. My Lord didn't have sex. So that's a hard road in our culture, but it's the better road because we're here as Christians to become more like Jesus.
So then why did you get married, Frank? Genesis says that a man will leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife. This is often cited as a reason why same-sex marriage is improper, so why is it not also a reason to believe that celibacy is improper? Also, how do you square your praise of celibacy with the instruction to be fruitful and multiply?
Our role here isn't to blend in with the culture or even to have a romantic relationship. I mean, we pray that God would give us that opportunity, but if he doesn't, he doesn't.
If the point is to be like Jesus, and Jesus was celibate, then why ought we pray for an opportunity to be less like Jesus?
To everyone who helps me out on Patreon, you're a big help. Thanks so much.